Hello and welcome to Startup Hack. Today we are going to talk about tips for optimizing .NET application. So let's jump right in. Make sure to check out the link down below because we always provide the code samples that you can pull down and follow along so you can see in our project. Do you want to earn $100,000 a year? Do you want to become a software developer within just 3 months? With our amazing course and awesome tutors, you never have to worry about getting stuck. We help students to learn skills that companies want to hire. We are Startup Hack. Don't forget to subscribe our channel. So let's get started. Alright, so the first tip is use caching. Slow response times can lead to a poor user experience, harming your application's reputation and reducing user satisfaction. One of the most effective techniques for improving the overall response time of your application is caching frequently used data. So, how to implement caching in .NET? In .NET, caching can be implemented using various tools including the memory cache, Redis, and Azure Cache for Redis. The memory cache class is available in the system.runtime.caching namespace and provides a simple and efficient way to cache the data in memory. Here's a simple example of how to use the memory cache class to use cache used data in .NET. So here's an example. In this example, we first check if the data we want to retrieve is already in the cache by using the contains method of the memory cache. If the data is in the cache, we retrieve it using the get method and use it for our logic. If the data is not in the cache, we retrieve it from the database and store it using the add method, which takes the cache key, data, and expiration policy. In this case, we are using a sliding expiration policy within a time span of 10 minutes. The second tip is optimize database access. We will discuss some techniques that can be used to optimize database access and reduce the number of database round trips, resulting in improved performance. So here's batch processing. It is a technique that involves spanning multiple SQL statements to the database in a single round trip. This can be significantly reduce the number of database round trips, improving the performance of your application. So in .NET, you can use SQL bulk copy class to perform batch processing. This class allows you to insert many records into a table in a single operation. Here's an example of how to use it. So the next step is minimize network round trips. Network latency and bandwidth limitations can have a significant impact on application performance. Therefore, minimizing the number of network round trips by compressing data using HTTP compression and reducing the size of payloads is a step to improve the overall performance of your .NET application. So here, what we are doing is using pagination for network round trips and lazy loading as well, and also filtering the data so it will not request the database frequently. So there's one more tip, asynchronous programming. It is a key factor in optimizing the performance of .NET applications. By using asynchronous programming, you can avoid blocking the application's main thread, which can significantly improve the application's scalability and responsiveness. So here we will be seeing async and await. So this language feature in .NET allows developers to write asynchronous code in synchronous style. This makes writing code that can run asynchronously without blocking the main thread quickly. Async await works by allowing developers to mark method as asynchronous using the async and use the await to wait the result of asynchronous operation. Another way of asynchronous programming is use task parallel library. This is a set of APIs in .NET allows developers to write parallel and asynchronous code. The TPL includes several features such as tasks and parallel.forEach, which makes it easy to write asynchronous code that can run in a parallel. The TPL can significantly improve the performance of your .NET application by allowing you to take advantage of multi-core processor. With parallel.forEach, TPL takes care of partitioning the collection of and distribution the work among multiple threads, allowing for significant performance improvements in cases where the iterations are computationally expensive. For example, suppose you have collection of 10,000 items and need to perform computationally expensive operation on each item by using parallel.forEach. the TPL can divide the work among multiple threads, potentially reducing the time it takes to complete the operation by a factor of number of available processor cores. So here's an example. In this example, we create a list of 100 integers and use parallel.for each to perform computationally expensive operation on each number in parallel. The lambda expression passed to parallel.for each takes a single integer parameter, the current item in the list, and operates simply adding the number of to itself 100,000 times. Because parallel.for each automatically partitions the list and distributes the work among multiple threads, we expect to see a significant speed up compared to operating sequentially. However, it's important to note that not all operations will benefit from the realization, and using it should be carefully considered in each case. So one more example in asynchronous programming is use async streams. Async streams are a language feature in .NET that allows developers to write asynchronous code to stream data to the caller. This is useful when reading large amount of data and from a remote source such as database or web service. So here's an example. In this example, we define a method called getDataAsync that returns an asynchronous enumerable of data objects. The method first creates an SQL connection object using connection string and then opens the connection asynchronously using the openAsync method. It then creates an SQL command object and it executes it asynchronously using the executeReaderAsync method. The while loop iterates through the rows returned by the query, and for each row, a new data object is created. The yield return keyword is used to return each data object one at a time to the caller. This code is handy for efficiently and asynchronously streaming large amount of data from a remote source such as a database or web service. So the last tip is using efficient algorithms and code. With increasing demand for high performance application, it is crucial to use efficient algorithms and code to reduce the number of operations that required to complete a task. This can significantly improve the application's performance and provide a better user experience. So we will focus on the importance of using efficient algorithms and code to optimize the performance of .NET applications. So number one is avoid boxing and unboxing. Boxing and unboxing can significantly reduce the performance of .NET application. Boxing is the process of converting a value type to an object type, and unboxing is a process of converting an object type to a value type. So here's an example. To avoid boxing and unboxing, use generics instead of an object type. So number second way is use string builder for a string concatenation. A string concatenation using the plus operator can be slow and inefficient, especially when dealing with large strings. Instead, using a string builder for string concatenation. So here's an example of a string builder. So the third way is use lazy initialization. Lazy initialization can improve the performance of your .NET application by delaying the creation of an object until it is actually needed. Use lazy T class in C# for lazy initialization. So here's an example. So the last way is use object pooling. It can significantly improve the performance of your .NET application by reusing objects instead of creating new ones. This can reduce memory allocation and garbage collection overhead. Use the object pool T class in C# for object pooling. So here's an example. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you learned these tips. So don't forget to subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon for latest updates. To joining our course, you can simply go to our website called startuphack.com. Thank you.